This week, Brandon and I found ourselves pretty covered up with work, rain, work in the rain, side hustle work, oh yeah, and more rain. The God honest truth is that we just didn't do anything all that entertaining. And I can imagine what you might be thinking. Well, that's not a great way to start a video. Why would I want to keep watching that? Well, funny you should ask. Just because we didn't do anything that exciting this week doesn't mean that nothing that exciting happened. We have some big news to share with y'all that's going to impact the course of our videos for the next few months. And since we're being honest here, I honestly think you'll want to hear this. In fact, we've got 2 new developments to share with y'all, although the first is probably much more exciting for one of you than for either of us. So let's just start there, shall we? Well, you guys, it is that time of year. If you've been with us for a hot minute, you know every year we kind of buy and sell a surf boat, use it for a summer, and then pass it along and give somebody else a great deal on it. So the time has come. We're ready to sell. Obviously, besides being just beautiful and sexy, it's a brand new boat. It's a 2023, not hardly 30 hours on the motor. MSRP is something like $130,000. And I'll go ahead and pass the baton to Brandon to share what our asking price is in a little bit more detail.
It's always sad when you sell your boat. I know they say the best days of a boat owner's life are the day they buy it and they sell it, but it's sad, but it'll go to a good home and they'll get a good deal. It's a 2023 Supreme S220 with the 450 horsepower upgraded motor, all the ballast options, the nice board racks that go on it, all out of the box fabric on the seats, wireless charging, docking lights, everything completely loaded up. So we'll list the boat for $110,000 or best offer. Hopefully sell it by September.
How should they contact you if they wanted to buy the surf boat or look at it or whatever?
Hit us up on the dang comments. Sarah reads every one of them and answers them. I read them. I love your comments, guys. Some of them are really funny.
We also have our email in the description. That might be more helpful. Now, in completely unrelated boat news, oh, you guys remember like 2 weeks ago when we cleaned the dinghy? Yeah. Look at this. The mess. The culprit. It's like having a child, except she's way fluffier, less expensive, and doesn't talk back. Not perfect because I was just doing that with water. I ran out of my bling sauce, but much better. Here's what we got going on today. Today, our to-do list kind of circles around Lowell's house. Lowell, you remember, was our general and electrical contractor and Jericho's dad. And today, he's having me stain his dock, and he's having Brandon set a couple new anchors for him. He's a very, very busy man, and today we're just kind of providing some extra hands to help get stuff done a little bit quicker. One thing about Brandon and I is that we just have the hardest time saying no to any side hustle. It's a good thing, you know, it's nice to have opportunities to make a little bit of money and help somebody out, but at the same time, you know, sometimes I'm like, we could just say no to things and then have more free time. But hey, gotta get it while the getting's good sometimes. And FYI, y'all, setting anchors is not only very complicated, but very, very dangerous. So do not attempt this without professional help. And I'm serious about that. Brandon actually is the only one that's like allowed to do this in our harbor. In a nutshell, TVA regulations for these floating cabins and houseboats are moving away from allowing folks to tie off their backlines to trees on land. Moving forward, best practice is to anchor into the bedrock like our new house is, or to simply use traditional anchors in the back like most folks already do out the front.
Operation Block on the Bank. Lowell wasn't that great of a filmer, so we're gonna let him stick to cutting the rope. We got a tie back on this so it'll stay close to the bank until the lake drops, and then we'll get rid of the tie back, and then this boat will be in compliance. All right, you ready?
Okay, all done. Got the columns, the gussets, the beam, whatever you call it, that sits on the columns. Fascia boards too. That'll last for much longer now. Yippee! Share it with Annie. Share with Annie. I reckon y'all have caught on by now that we live in a rainforest. Literally. In my opinion, one of the most underrated benefits of living in a very wet area is the mushrooms. That's right, the mushrooms. I had come across some chicken of the woods while at work recently, and of course had to snag some to whip up for dinner. Besides its delicious chickeny taste and a multitude of health benefits, the best thing about chicken of the woods is that it's super easy to identify and is honestly pretty hard to mistake for any poisonous mushroom around here. Even Brandon is sold on them. It's as much of a treat to stumble across some chicken of the woods as it is to catch a big, beautiful trout.
Antioxidants, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, anti-carcinogenic, and diabetic and hormone regulating properties. Good.
So Brandon has got some very, very good news.
Well, if all goes as planned, by Wednesday of next week, we will be the owners of another floating cabin. We're hoping that we do this and we get this going, because now Sarah and I have a new project, a new floating cabin. This one will be tear down to the studs and remodel and bring it back up to par.
Kind of like we did the first one.
Yep, like we did the first one. It won't be a complete rebuild from scratch, so it'll be fun. But it's going to need a lot of work, a lot of new floats under it, just everything. But it's a nice size one. It's actually a little bigger than the one we just built, but it's not tall. So we'll see what we can do with it. I think you guys will enjoy watching us. So, sad day, we're selling a surf boat. Good day, a new floating cabin. Because life was slowing down here, so might as well find something to do.
And I might argue that the best part about that, beyond the fact that you guys are going to get to see really cool building content again, is that whenever we're done with it, we're not keeping it. So
Somebody's gonna have to buy it, and it could be one of y'all.
It's definitely not something that we're gonna keep. Maybe we'll keep it, but I don't think we'll keep it.
I don't think we'll keep it. Well, you guys know how we are. These things evolve. But our plan right now is to flip it. So really excited about that and pumped to give somebody else the opportunity to not only get a floating cabin, but also be in this harbor. That's a huge. Not to sound whatever, but that's really coveted. So you could be our neighbor.
And see that every day.
That's not coveted. That's not what I meant.
You could see that every day.
Yeah. But this is a really nice harbor, and it's going to be a cute house.
How big of a project will this be? It's going to take a couple of months.
At least.
Yeah, we're not getting in a huge hurry on this one because we've always wanted to build one of these in the fall and winter when we weren't in a hurry. And every time we've had to build one, we've had to build it in the spring and have it ready by summer.
Is the bear excited to be covered in sawdust again? Yay!
Okay, I'm done. Put it up. That's it. That's all you get. Dinky, get your finger off the button. Put the camera up. It's done. God. This is Old Man Jones reporting. Over and out, Roger Dodger.